We're looking at books on the top of my metal shelf in my bedroom. V for Vendetta. Great comics. I like that it's the Warner Books edition and not the DC regular one. Grendel Devil Tales. Because I have this, I do not need to buy Grendel Omnibus Volume 2. I am a fan of the Hunter Rose Grendel, not so much of the other incarnations of Grendel. Grendel, Black, White, and Red. And Red, White, and Black. Great comics. I foolishly did not get the second volume signed by Jill Thompson when I saw her at Comic-Con. I did get her to sign a couple of Sandman books, which you may see later on in these bookshelf tours. First volume of Hellboy, written by John Byrne, drawn by Mike Mignola. I've been more grabbing the pastiche Hellboy stuff, but I found that for super cheap, and I enjoy it. I like Hellboy. There's always a fight, somebody falls through the floor. Good comics. First volume of American Virgin. I got this at Spine and Crown. A buddy of mine offered to buy me a book for my birthday one year. I saw this. It was super cheap. Let him buy it for me. And it's very, very good. The conclusion of the series is not that great. I have the other 3 volumes over here. I've only read it once, but I would definitely read it again. Really dig it. Stray Toasters by Bill Sienkiewicz. I got this at Spine and Crown also, and I got it because I was like hanging around there, and the proprietor like wanted me to leave and was like, why don't you just buy Stray Toasters? So I have it. I've read a little bit of it. Someday I'll read the whole thing. It's super weird. I'm glad I've got it. It's not at the top of my reading pile, but it will get read at some point. Squee. I had a friend introduce me to Squee and Johnny the Homicidal Maniac. I bought both volumes of that also at Spine and Crown, and the guy was like, Patrick, people, like teenagers with wet money and dirty fingernails buy those comics. And I was like, I got them for nostalgic value, and I don't think that I've read them since I got them. I'm a big fan of Invader Zim. The comics, again, it's a nostalgia trip. I would love to pass it on to somebody that I think is worthy of having it, but everybody I know already read it when they were a kid, so there it sits. The greatest Carl Barks' greatest DuckTales stories. These are fun sets. They're from Gemstone. I don't know if I will keep these after they're all reprinted in the Fantagraphics copies, because it's like not the original coloring. It has some cool essays that compare Barks' stories to the episodes of the TV show DuckTales, which is kind of cool. But these will probably go to my nephew when he's old enough to have Scrooge McDuck. There's the second volume. The Life and Times of Scrooge McDuck by Don Rosa. Love, 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 love this. I have not bought the Fantagraphics reprint of that to replace the Gemstone one, because both volumes, Life and Times and Life and Times Companion, were bought for me by a good friend, and I just like the ones I got. The first volume of Bone in trade. This is the one that has the Will Eisner introduction. Got for Christmas one year, as well as the second volume, the one with the Neil Gaiman introduction. I subscribed to Bone from issue 17 forward. Love the comic. Got a Christmas card from Jeff Smith one year. Pretty cool. We're going to wrap it up with, I have 2 more things. A big pile of Olympians by George O'Connor. In one of my videos, I showed Poseidon, and these are the soft covers from that same series. Great, great, great stuff. I cannot recommend it enough. You can kind of see from where I'm holding my camera the Medusa face. I talked about in my last video. It looks like there's a Minotaur on the hardcover. On the soft cover, it's Medusa. And finally, the soft cover of Charles Vess's Book of Ballads. I'll bring this down so you can see. Sorry for the cell phone video. It's just a friggin' gorgeous cover. I have it in hardcover too, which has more content but doesn't reprint this cover. So I have them both. That is all for that. You got a quick whiff of the superhero comics below, which we will look at soon.